The boys are back together for the ESL Pro League and for one more game. We're going to be diving into HellRaisers and Astralis, next two best of ones to be played, and we've got an extra face on the desk. Look at this, this is lovely. I mean, I can't put my cable. Oh, they can't even see it. It's like camouflage.
Do you want to know?
Wait, where is it? Cool.
Anyway. Do you want to know what's cool?
What's that,
is that we're all hanging out right now. We're all a bunch of friends. We're all part of the Commonwealth. We all have a flight in like 3 hours to go to Bucharest.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, us four.
We're living the dream. You guys are going to show us the way. We're going to head over to Bucharest. I heard it's beautiful. I'm going to fill up my Instagram.
Bad boys from Bucharest.
With some pretentious photos.
We are the bad boys. We are the bad boys.
The bad boys, bad boys.
We've got quite a reputation in that city, so watch out. You never know what can happen.
How long did you spend there? 6 months?
Almost.
I did like 3 months.
3 months in Bucharest. So you're going to show us the ways.
Yeah.
Apparently there's some fine cuisine.
Very, yeah. We'll go to Karukaberi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but House of Beer, basically.
Oh, yeah.
It's you leave Intercontinental, go into Old City, and then it's in the backside of that. Very good soup in a bread bowl.
That's
and then you have to get the veal.
Is that how they hollow out bread?
Yeah.
What's the currency?
Romanian lei. It's 3 to 1 with the Canadian dollar, and I think 3.7 to 1 with the euro.
Okay. Most of the show is about travel information as well. So just so you know, you can get all your kind of tips.
2.9 actually to the Canadian dollar.
2.9. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you clarified.
I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it.
For all the Canadians out there that are going to Romania tomorrow.
I've embraced the cable.
Anyway, Alex, can we get the show on the road?
Sorry. The reason we were talking for an extra while was because Astralis and Fnatic went to an extra overtime over in the second half of their second map. So we did get to see even more fun and games before we get HellRaisers Astralis. No, HellRaisers are probably going to be coming into this one as significant underdogs. I think it'd be rude not to address their absence of, obviously, Oscar, a coach, and now they've gone and got rid of, I believe it was their fifth. Was he a Smike? But was Smike officially into the team?
Never was.
It was never addressed. There was no PR release about it or anything like that. It was just he turned up one event and then he's been there. And he's been okay, to be fair. Like, it's big shoes to fill, Oscar, but he's been doing a decent job, I think. And this is Dead Fox coming in. Another upcoming AWPer was playing for teams like Pixel Fire and Escape, and we saw him at the minor, Matthew.
Yeah, with Pixel Fire.
That's
with
right.
Barbar's team.
He was actually pretty decent.
They played 78 rounds on Mirage. He had better have at least had a chance in that game to showcase something.
Is that the cast when you did your Barbar?
Yeah, Barbar. Yes, that one. That's my favorite.
It was on Mirage as well, right?
Yeah, Mirage,
and that is the map that we're going to see here.
What a segue.
He's a specialty.
It all comes together.
Fun fact, do you know how to spell segue, that you just said it?
I know what you're trying to bait me into, so I'm not going to say it. I would say S-E-G-W-A-Y.
Incorrect.
And what would it be, actually?
It's S-E-G-U-E. Really weird.
Really?
English is weird. English is a really weird language.
No idea.
But Mirage is the first map, between Astralis and HellRaisers. And let's not forget, Astralis did just beat Fnatic in their previous game. So that's going to be intriguing to see whether they can carry form into this one. But Angel Bondix, not Smike, Styko Zero, and of course the new name is Dead Fox. If scratch that S-M-I-K-E and throw in a Dead Fox as well.
Should we do the graphics from now on?
Next time.
Yeah,
I can do really good stuff in paint.
I imagine you can.
I can do amazing things in paint.
Did you not see the race helmet we designed for Matt?
Yeah, you know what? I actually already talked to my designer, and he said find another designer. So I'm not going to use that race helmet design.
That is a sentence I have never said. I was just talking to my designer and... Panda. What?
Never mind. Alrighty. And the other...
Don't joke like this.
all right.
He's going red.
The other team, being Astralis, what was their roster? Because you didn't.
I appreciate that. Sorry, yes, of course it is Device.
It's Cajun B.
Is it?
No.
Really? No, of course it's Device,
to
Dupree, Carrigan, Kiabi, and Zipnik. So we were actually just kind of talking about how he was on the ropes for a while in that roster and then managed to kind of come back. You hinted that he'd fallen off again, Chad.
Yeah, he's fallen off again. He's dropped off. His performances are lackluster again. Like, I don't think anybody can be labeled as just a support player anymore. You have to be able to be a fragger. And he's not putting up the numbers. And I know we say it's not all about stats and stuff, but I think it was him before who was going to get cut, and it's probably him again who will probably be the one looking to get cut.
To be fair, okay, let's talk about his role specifically, right? So he's normally playing the anchor positions on the CT side, and that's the idea. He's such a good clutcher. You want those players by themselves, let's say, towards B on Train, B on Mirage. He's the one you're relying on to actually come back in those situations. As a 2v1, he's rotating in and actually making those clutches a possibility. When he's clutching, it looks absolutely fantastic, but sometimes you are rotating into unwinnable situations, right? It's always going to be a challenge. So I don't know, it's definitely a difficult position to play if you're not in absolute peak form. It can look like you're lacking behind, and he was going for that spell of winning every single clutch, looking amazing. So I agree, he's definitely not at the peak he was maybe 3 months ago, but still, it's a very difficult role to play in. Unless you're like 100% form, it's going to be hard to actually perform with that role. Sorry,
the squeaks that were making it. I was like, wow. Yeah, no, I think I agree with you that he's not at the level that he was at, 3 months ago, as you said. But his clutching has still been very good when he does arrive in that situation. I think he's actually got them out of a few sticky situations this year. But in terms of first to be removed, I wouldn't look there. I actually think
agree.
that the issue is actually within the with the in-game leading right now.
Yeah.
I know talking to Kerrigan at the after party at Star Ladder. Take that with a grain of salt, obviously, given the conditions of an after party and some lime.
Few lemonades.
Yeah, I usually just go straight. But he was basically saying that if you look, he broke it down as TSM and Astralis. If you looked at the TSM times, they were better on the T side. They were very good with execution. Maps like Dust 2, they were picking up T-sided rounds. Yeah. They're not doing that anymore. And part of it is a lot of people are apparently overruling Kerrigan's say. So there's multiple people calling at the start of rounds, and it's leaving them with very poor defaults and people kind of doing things that he's not designing, and therefore everyone's on a different page, and it's falling apart
every
for
event
them.
as well, they're turning up with different roles. They had the boot camp before Kiev, and we were saying, okay, Device is now the main AWPer, and then they come back from the boot camp. Kerrigan's back again, mixing it up every single map. It seems like they can't really find the recipe that works for this team. They've tried many different variations of it, and they've had some great success and some many loads of it. Right. So they still can't quite find what they're looking for in terms of the actual setup themselves.
It's a very slippery slope when people start overruling the in-game leader. The confidence there for Kerrigan now is down the toilet, and his players aren't going to trust him if that's, you know, in fact,
and that's why I was saying the removal thing, because it sounds like there's some voices that are overruling him, and we already heard the rumor that Glaive. I don't think that's going to happen now with Heroic, obviously, but that Glaive was going there.
Yeah, well, you can mentally refresh all the players in the team by getting rid of the in-game leader, right? Because you bring in someone new who's going to approach things in maybe potentially the way that you want. So that could be a positive thing for that team. And it was something that I was mentioning when we were talking about Astralis the other day, that you know that they get stale. The same thing happened with Fetish. They changed to Kerrigan. You know, he did some good stuff, and now they're getting stale again. But I think they are probably going to say, you know, still adjusting to Kirby.
Yeah. Well, Kirby's been playing much better recently. He's been the one who's been actually lacking behind after being so prominent in Dignitas, and we thought, okay, another star player. The farming team has produced another star. He goes into Astralis, actually pretty quiet. This event in Kiev actually looked really good. He's one of the top fraggers for the team. Still disappointing results overall, but still some signs of life there, taking down Navi. Kind of hard to take much away from that event. It's so up and down, losing to Heroic, kick things off, then being Navi, but still should be able to take HellRaisers, I think. I think that's what we're getting to.
Yeah, that is what we are talking about. We did just spend a while talking about the Danes, and that's, of course, because they are hot favourites in this matchup. HellRaisers already been hamstrung once and twice, losing their coach and their star player. Let's see if they can perform and find their footing with Dead Fox, as that's going to be the first game going down on Mirage. Let's jump into it. What's up,
I just want to know, are you a big fan of The Weeknd?
I am a big fan of The Weeknd.
I was wondering the hair,
Let's go ahead and jump to our casters before we miss any of the action.
Guys, don't rub it in. Alex still hasn't managed to secure his appointment for the haircut. He talked about it yesterday, I think, poor guy. Anyway, jumping into this one, Lauren, I think Dead Fox is an interesting subject, as sort of new players coming to rosters are. What's really interesting is that Smike got booted from HellRaisers because of the English communication. He wasn't good enough in English, because they have to communicate in English, right? And their replacement, you know a little bit about.
Yeah, I was talking to Bocco, who used to be the coach for Pixel Fire. So I asked him, you know, what's this guy really bringing to this roster? What do we need to be looking at as to what he can do? And even though, yes, he used to play, you know, the AWP role predominantly, it was never actually his main role within that lineup. He'd be switching it up with, you know, Barbar on occasion. And he's actually sometimes more comfortable with the rifle on certain maps. So I wonder if he's going to be able to even get away with that. He might be stripped off and say, hey, no, you focus on AWPing. This is your new main role. So again, quite curious to see how he now comes into this. Does he really just instantly fit that role? Well, we'll find out throughout this game if he's going to have a bit more freedom to what he does, or if he's just kind of having to go with what the team kind of wants to see here. But Astralis have issues of their own, and already HellRaisers actually with a really good read into the first round. A bit of a gamble, but really nice posture towards B. 4 players waiting on the other side, and Sticko already landing a good few. No one seems to check for it, and he gets away. 3 back-to-back impact kills there coming through. The bomb's now on the side. They have to commit for this.
Yeah, as Ibnix has to go on the back of that. You're exactly right. Sticko with 3 to start things off quite nicely, and then Zero ties it up in a bow. Nice opening here for HellRaisers. And yeah, communication going to be an important factor for HellRaisers now. It's half the reason why they bring Dead Fox in, and hope that that improves somewhat.
And of course, Dead Fox coming in, his previous lineup, you know, had Swede in there. You know, there was a very mixed roster of languages, so you'll make the assumption that he can very much handle English very well. He made his kind of name through the Hungarian scene, just kind of picking up some really good wins, finding good teams through, and he's, you know,
that's where Bocco should know him from. He's Hungarian himself.
So it's like from the 2007 era, he's been playing a long time. So of course, keep your eye on, but Device finding Angel so early, that's not how you want to start things off here. They are on that Armored Eagle buy-up, a couple more pieces of the Tech 9 with Dupree, but overall, it looks like a bit of a split towards mid, or at least a play towards mid, just looking for options, really.
It's going to be quite telling here for HellRaisers if they do fall to this play from Astralis, so they are trying to muscle themselves back into the money game. Making a small investment, of course, towards those pistols. Dupree catches Dead Fox jumping across him, but good response. The Famous rings true, and Dupree will fall. It's going to be Zipnik's the only player really on towards B. Sometimes he's a man who can do a lot with very little there. He had no opportunity to win. Bondic through the smoke finds Kerrigan as he perches and waits for his chance to appear. Now Kirby up in towards mid. Doesn't really know about Sticko off towards the side there, and it will be Dead Fox to finish the job there. So Astralis make very minimal headway. Just that initial kill on Angel via device is all they're going to have into that round. So they will have to be sensible in the next and just save up.
Yeah, and let's excuse me, put this into perspective here, because I think people will look at this matchup and not see it as a thriller. But remember, you know, HellRaisers went 1-1 with Fnatic not too long ago. They won out on, I think it was Cash, and they lost on Cobble in OT. So these guys, they're certainly bringing a lot of attention to how they're playing here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we have a tough game coming out. But sometimes they kind of dip down against lower tier opponents, but still, really nice start here. Already find the nade towards the device. Should give away what's going on. This should have been just a play for the plant, but pretty much pour through apartments, try and get that bomb planted, and it's Bondic and Angel with the mowdown. Nicely handled for Bondic in the end, and he stays alive, which is really important. Look at all that utility he's got. And they don't even have to upgrade here massively. They can just kind of stick it out if they want to. They know that Astralis aren't in the best of positions.
Yeah, the fact that Bondic goes, well, alive in that situation is quite an interesting one indeed. HellRaisers, their road, I guess, to this game, they've been trying to qualify for E-League, I think, and they finally fell to FaZe. So that's been an unsuccessful endeavor, I believe, for them in that case. But yeah, Astralis have warmed up. They just played Fnatic. We just talked about them being in that overtime situation. So two teams here in front of you that both sort of split a series or got the one win against Fnatic in their 2 best-of-1. So
look at what HellRaisers are up to in this round, Mitch. They've got 4 players already on a looking towards ramp, going for the instant information play. Dead Fox, the only one by connector, who will have to deal with the 3 players top of mid, but that's really nice from Sticko. The player who stood out actually against Fnatic, for me at least,
by far,
opens up a huge chance here. But it's basically down to Zero to be able to read the play. If he can really sense that maybe Xyp9x has encroached closer, if maybe he can feel it out, because Astralis have complete control of mid. They have everything they need.
Yeah, I mean, Fox, I believe, smoked himself out of connector there as well, or at least that's the way it seemed as he backed away. So HellRaisers are probably ready to make the move over towards B and receive this. Xyp9x teeters within the edges of Zero's line of sight there, but he actually takes a fight elsewhere. It's going to be Carrigan, going to be able to mow down Dead Fox, but Xyp9x wasn't ready for that. Zero going to be waiting for this push, but Kirby shuts him down. The second he gets there, finds another one, and now Bondic has to challenge this one. Bomb's going to be planted here. He may have to wait out for Sticko to join him, but there are very limited avenues of approach to this site here for HellRaisers.
Yeah, to be fair, Sticko did go up short. Dupree was waiting by ladder room. He can actually just come around the back, really, if they're trying to make this costly for the CT side, which they will be. So keep your eyes on Dupree if he actually goes for that sort of flank. Not going to be happening right now. He's still kind of just curious as to where these guys are. They only really found the information of one of them, so they're going to back away and try and save their guns at this point. If they can get guns away from Astralis, absolutely perfect, but not always going to be the easiest of case. So Astralis is going to exit the way that they know they can. The money's still pretty good for HellRaisers, bearing in mind they're on 4K, 6K, they're fine. It's Astralis who needs to be careful with how much they lose here.
And you can see that's exactly why Dupree not really committing to that challenge, waiting for Bondic to come back in again. Who gets the kill, the headshot going to secure it for him, and Sticko will just have to wait here over on the A site and hold onto his weapon. So a very cursory 3 rounds goes by in the start, and Astralis coming back with their first buy are successful. Kill split over them for the most part there, but a nice little push towards B leaves Xyp9x lying in wait and allow themselves to at least get a trade on towards Zero in the back of that B side.
And here we go. Finally, we get to see Dead Fox on that AWP. A role that he's been known for in the past, but let's see how it works in this roster. As said on the desk, very big shoes to be filling. And he's got a bit of a challenge to begin with already. 3 players posturing towards mid to start with. Molly's down, Smoke's going in, just to kind of deny any information, get that little bit of control building already for themselves. And this seems like much more of a default for HellRaisers. No big stack anywhere just yet. You've got that mid control still in play, but very light on A if you look at it really. Only Bondic's purely dedicated towards it at the moment. Dead Fox and Angel far more attentive towards middle. Got to be careful, Zero. Almost had his head taken off there.
Device just coolly sidesteps the nade that coming towards him. And Astralis, the early Molotov, going to prevent any early mid-aggression here from HellRaisers. They're going to have to stay put and wait now for more information. And they're not going to get a whole lot of it here. Smokes will obscure a lot of their view. Well, the same can be said for Astralis here. They still need to make some sort of inroads, and Angel will be studiously waiting here and towards mid. Just tucking himself back in the corner, and Sticko there as well. So any chance for Astralis to try and boost into mid will be cut down, but now 3 players coming in through connector. Angel will be able to see this one fairly early on, but he had the nade in his hand. That's not ideal. Flash comes out, and he's going to be challenged down. Still wins it out as a result, but it's traded through. However, Bondic springs to life on the site. Again, Carrigan finds him. A good round for that man so far, but a 2v3 situation, make it a 3v1 for Carrigan falling. Now, I mean, Xyp9x has a heck of a lot on his plate.
I don't know how he can split this into finding at least an early pick here to give him a chance. 30 seconds. Bomb does get picked up. If he could maybe find Sticko there, that could be an opportunity, but he is clutching at straws in this one. It's 25 seconds. I don't see this happening for him.
No time to back away as well. It's a very snaking, long and treacherous route to get himself towards B. There just is not the time for it. Xyp9x has no choice but the challenge here. Seems content to not go for any sort of save. It's going to be Dead Fox peeking him fairly early on. And the spray comes down, 2 people fall. An opportunity now presents itself for Xyp9x. The bomb going to get planted. Sticko needs to challenge out from Connector.
This is massive, and Xyp9x got to feel confident now. He must have spotted Sticko there as well. I'm pretty sure that little bit of a swing out will give him a chance. So Xyp9x just going to watch the cross. Sit for it and wait for Sticko to have to cross over. He's still got a flash and a smoke, Sticko, but he's got to get past this initial challenge. If he does, game on for him. If not, it's all Xyp9x. Just about finding a new angle here. Still has to cross, and Xyp9x with 3. Massive play from him. What a brilliant piece coming through. And he just shouldn't be able to get away with that sort of stuff. 1v3 is so hard to define into manageable situations, but he managed it somehow, picks it up and puts Astralis back on the board.
I mean, we were talking about Xyp9x last night, actually, in their match previously, and we know we're going to get Thinking Man CS from this man, and my doubt, it was definitely that. Really played it nice and slow.
Ooh. Double Mac 10 coming against a buy here. Yeah, they don't have head armor, of course, so if they can find a way to make it work, interesting.
Perhaps a misread on the economy of HellRaisers here for Astralis. Or just a Gambit coming into the mix, of course. Don't have a lot of money to work with here, to be fair. Carrigan could have bought a bit more with that, but of course we'd like to see some AWPs in play fairly soon for Astralis. At least they'd like to see that. So slow play through A. Just on that T ramp and hoping to maybe even get a bit of a set play going. They have the utility for it. Sticko as well getting, oh, nice little jump in from Dupree there. Sticko is looking towards mid as the device set up, so there would have been both pinstring onto that situation. Zero loses out that challenge. Not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. Bondic still finds Dupree, but the numbers game very much in Astralis' favour, yet despite really not getting those Mac 10s in play, they are gaining ground.
It's down to Dead Fox. Let's be very honest about this. Device is going to pretty much deny any rotate or an easy rotate with a Mac 10. Even though it may not take them down, it's the instant red flag. And Dead Fox doesn't know what's happening, right? They have no information now. Their eyes are completely covered, and while he tagged one through the other, he at least found one there. They know where the plan is meant to be unfolding now, but there's nothing they can really do about it. Well, they shouldn't be able to do it. I said that before, and Xyp9x got a 1v3, but you know what I mean. This is one of the situations, you've already lost the sight. You want to keep these guns. But Device, well, he's going to go hunting a little bit on this one, looking around to see if he can spot them out here. Going to position himself up on short, lovely movement, and just go find the AK off of Dupree there, and now he's in a position where he wants to save.
And Angel and Bondic may be challenged in a few moments here. Device at least is trying to pick up some weapons. At least make them inaccessible there for anyone. Astralis who may be looking so now towards mid-window, bomb ticking away. Device definitely going looking here, and Xyp9x will probably have an opportunity to find someone if he gets towards his A side, but Bondic is tucked away safely in the corner. Angel, though, has a chance. He has a chance to check this, but he won't see anything.
How did Angel not hear Device jumping through jungle then? I have no idea. Obviously
there was a decoy in mid-window. I don't really know.
I don't know. But let's kind of take stock of what we've seen, because really it started off looking quite good for HellRaisers. You know, the 3 back-to-back rounds looking comfortable. They kept the weapons over into the first gun round, really. You know what I mean? They kept a couple of FAMASs. They didn't reinvest too much into that one, and they lost out. Now, Astralis has been building pretty well, and I'm glad to see Dupree, getting that control, that play up short. This is something he's a bit of a specialist in, at least in my eyes, is getting in towards ladder room. But here we go. Instant challenge comes out. Xyp9x does get overwhelmed. Good enough play so far. They don't have great weapons, HellRaisers, so making any sort of play at this point is really influential. It's only Angel who can really sustain anything.
3 players committed towards this A side, though, and Device is kind of hoping to keep them there at this stage, and well, he's going to put Dead Fox 6 feet under. That will assist the endeavours here for Astralis in the rest of this round. He will wait. Sticko, you can see him backing away there as well. Already rotating, and Angel wins out against Device, but still damage being done, but Zero. Nice little pick with the P250 as the encroaching Astralis players try and get some headway through apartments. Now he changes up his position, keeping it fresh.
Bombs in spawn, Mitch. This is not good. This is far from good. They can still back to it, but Angel finding Dupree, this is the situations you dread. He's got to go all the way back. He doesn't know where these guys are either. They could have pushed up mid. They could be anywhere at this point because they were on a weird buy. They're on just pistols. You expect them to be aggressive. So look at this. He's going to have to just go for it though. He's trying to quickly check these angles, but he's got to commit pretty fast to where he wants to end up. So let's see where he chooses. It looks like A so far. He's got a flash and a smoke. He could, I don't even know what he's going to smoke or flash at this point. So the smoke goes in towards, where does it? Deep shot. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so a fake smoke out towards B, basically. That's meant to say, all right, Sticko, you stay over here. You stay here with Zero. You two now have to deal with it. Now, it's Angel he's going to get the 1v1 against, and Angel's 1 HP. So Carrigan's got it. He's done really well so far.
Plant's going to come in. It's just a fake here. Angel peeks. The off angle's not going to be enough for Carrigan. Just a little bit too far of a swing, but Angel finds the head immediately. Astralis, a couple of sloppy rounds there, no doubt about it. Device trying to challenge into 3 players on the A side after losing Xyp9x inside. Palace, not a great start. And then even Zero cheekily getting a P250 kill cuts Astralis down to 2 And from there on in, they struggled to make anything happen. Nicely done by Angel there, fearless. As we expect from this man as well, one of the more aggressive players in this scene.
To say the least. Loves a challenge like that. So, all right, Astralis gets reminded. That's a big reminder as well. That's a bit of a post-it note to the forehead at this point. 4-3, can't take it lightly. But then they need to win the gun rounds here, HellRaisers. It's all good and well playing that quirky style. That's it, Angel. Just takes a bit of a step out, finds Device. Device trying to do that quite consistently, whether it be with a Deagle or whatever. He likes trying to take that ramp challenge. But now it comes down towards what could be the B split here. Xyp9x finds the frag towards Zero and puts it all down towards Sticko. Will they expect another player here so quickly? Will they even check it? Surely they will. Surely Xyp9x will have a little look towards this. No, he won't. Sticko gets away with murder. Dead Fox comes into the matter, and now we're down to 2.
Misplaced assumptions here for Astralis are costing them plays in this round. Karrigan falls, and now it's Kirby. He's a long way from the bomb, and HellRaisers know exactly where it is. No choice but now to rotate through CT. Fortunately, no one will be watching from the booth side. So Kirby can at least hedge himself into a 2v2 situation, or 2v1, should I say. Still, Bondik and Angel are content to stay towards A. Angel may be making some slower movements across, but for all intents and purposes, HellRaisers should expect Kirby to surface somewhere near this big side. He needs to recover the bomb.
Angel, there's... I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I mean, the round didn't start off well for Astralis anyway, because Device is trying to tickle the A site without any utility.
Let's put it this way for HellRaisers, right? This round is pretty much set in their hands. They've got 20 seconds. Kirby can't get the bomb takedown. That's too much. It's too much ground to cover, too much work to achieve. So for them, 3 guns saved. It could have been 4, but he found 1, so that's not too bad for him. But at the end of the day, let's see what Astralis' money is like as well. Really far from perfect. The quick reset coming through. So again, the HellRaisers need to keep their weapons as well, so they're not going to go hunting beyond where they currently are. Might have a little bit of a peek around, but this is pretty much it. So just trying to stay alive here. Again, Astralis' money is really quite bad. Karrigan's below 2k. You've got Xyp9x on 4. They could maybe get a couple of upgraded pistols if they want to, get some armor behind it, and just, yeah, they're going to force up around this. So a little bit of a mixed bag they're going to come in with. So 2 rifles, loads of Tech 9s, a bit of smokes to work with, so maybe going to see a bit of an A smoke play coming out. The smoke towards top mid from Kirby going to come down, allow Karrigan to cross through if he wants to, try and get maybe towards Connector. And here we go. Smokes being lined up, 1 towards jungle, I can imagine, 1 maybe stairs. I don't know if they have enough smokes. They do. They have all the smokes available if they need it for A.
So funny, we've seen Astralis be so meticulous on Dust 2 last night. In a lot of cases, just playing it really slow through. This time, obviously losing a fair few players quite early towards the sides. That's not good for Dead Fox, though. Not ideal. Not ideal in his debut at all, but now Bondik going to be up the top. He's going to be able to catch on towards Capri as he does drop down. Device responds quickly, though, with the Tech 9, and all of a sudden, Astralis have the numbers advantage. Smokes are up on the side, but not enough to obscure Device from view. He goes down, the bomb goes loose. Kirby must challenge this. He wins it out. And now Zero and Connector will still have an opportunity into this one. The bomb is still dropped in clear side, but Kirby does save Astralis in this round. Things were going a little bit south for them, but they managed to pick it back up. Yeah,
I like that pick from Kirby going up on the box to take the fight, just so, you don't pre-aim that as a CT. You won't be like, of course he's going to jump up on the box. No. Really, really cool stuff. But, yeah, Dead Fox, not good to start off with. That's it's not fun when people just swing out on you on ramp like that, but
yeah, it does happen.
You've got to be kind of ready for it. Astralis and Danish teams known for kind of playing ahead of those smokes on occasion. He should be kind of switched on to that by now, but, it's a debut of sorts. For him, nerves will be aplenty. It's a big opportunity for him, but here we go. Dead Fox makes up for it. Going to find Karrigan very quickly into this one and trying to make the most impact he can, as he's one of the few players who has full rifles here.
Seeing this happen early from Astralis there, I mean, in this round, they might just want to play ahead a bit of some of this utility. Vice tries to duck under the shot, but Angel just a little bit too quick to the punch. And Xyp9x, well, I don't know where he's going for now, because Kirby just gets gunned down. He tries to challenge Angel, and Astralis just can't get any entries on towards these sides. They're being forced to pay so much to even make the smallest amount of ground on these maps, and HellRaisers is doing very, very well. Even though they're not forging ahead for this information, they're setting their feet and making it very difficult for Astralis to get anything for free.
Yeah, and Astralis' money is back up and down, you know what I mean? They're back down to this horrible position where it's upgraded pistols at best, and you're only getting a couple of those coming through. Double AWP now coming out. I'm excited to watch this because before we saw a couple of good rounds from HellRaisers with the double AWP coming out to play, but we didn't see a consistent factor really coming through for them. Now this could be a really nice addition with Dead Fox being able to pick that one up too, if he finds a bit...
Sticker now, of course, set up in that ladder room here, so Kirby has to be a little bit careful here. No chance for any sort of double peek from sort of underpass and ladder room here, so Kirby now can go looking. That sound, the drop down, should have been heard by Sticko and communicated to the rest of HellRaisers. It will just be Angel, actually, in this position, so... surely aware that Kirby is afoot. Sticko gets taken down by Zipnix there as well. I mean, that's one of the known quantities if you're Astralis. You knew he was there. Now Angel going to go for the peek. He's going to fall down. It really was just a bee's breath to kill him. Bonic tries to peek on towards that side. And again, Astralis just staying put. Managed to pick these kills up. It's 2 flashes from Dupree. He knows he's going to need some help. A nade will take his life quite comfortably here, but HellRaisers are going to have a little bit more on their plate than just one low health player. Zero comes forward, tries to take a challenge. And yeah, 4 seconds left. It's not going to be enough here. They're going to be caught though. Kirby's not going to let them get away with this at all. Oh dear, they all falls to the ground. Kirby grins from ear to ear now as it's 11 and 12, and this must be HellRaisers here. Not looking good money-wise. Zero only 1,800 there. Spent all of his bank.
Yeah, HellRaisers is hitting a wall. They picked up the first round.
Last 7
and
they've
that's
lost.
it. Yeah, 7 back-to-back rounds lost.
After winning the pistol, it's just it's heartbreaking.
That's not great. This is really worrying for HellRaisers. It started off like, what? How is he able to do this? Is it the jumping headshot towards Device? Like, Sticko's nuts. Absolutely nuts, but it's not winning you rounds. It doesn't really matter that much. Of course, damage is damage at this point. This could start making a difference, though. Sticko finds Device again. He's really got his number now, and now 3 left alive for Astralis. But there's only 2 players with armor here for HellRaisers. They can't easily recover those rifles either, so it's not an easy pickup. And now Kirby's going to spot them out, making a little bit of a mad dash out of here. Checks towards mid, sees nothing, so assumes they're now making their way towards the site.
Yeah, he can front up middle there as well and maybe pose a late flank. There's actually no one at A for Astralis right now, so Dupree needs to rotate back. Kirby can't even forge too far down mid. He's going to meet Sticko there as well and towards underpass. This time, the man is not going to get away with it. Still, takes a bit of damage off of Kirby, but now HellRaisers pouring on towards his A site. Astralis probably have to play fairly passively, fairly retake-oriented here, and Kirby gets pushed into it. He gets the spray down on towards 2. Nice finish off there for Astralis. Again, they receive and they deliver in their own way.
For me, this half has been a lot of Dupree and Kirby. Those two, the riflers, coming together very nicely, especially on holding down those A hits. Been really, really good. Now, 12-12. What an absolute abomination of a scoreline afterwards. Such a strong half from HellRaisers. It feels like they just can't be able to take it over to another side. They seem like, I don't want to say like G2 style, like a one-half wonder, because G2 can actually on occasion really replicate it on others, but HellRaisers just taking an absolute beating at the moment. Kirby going to find Sticko back away from it. Kerrigan with the auto sniper, they're rolling in cash now.
It's so comfortable for Astralis, especially opening up this round of all. With a kill like that from Kirby, just backs away and says, okay, you can have mid HellRaisers, but we know there's a transaction required here. You want to gain any more ground on the map, you're going to be required to pay for it. And it is going to be the Scar 20 for Kerrigan, really wanting to put HellRaisers under. They know that, well, if they win this round out, HellRaisers are unlikely to have really enough to buy properly. This is obviously them spending quite a lot. And the round loss bonus, of course, being a factor here, but it doesn't help you buy full every round. That's the thing. It gives you a little bit, gives you an advantage into it. There's Kirby, just spots out Angel. Tendrils of the smoke don't quite cover him up, and that's Kerrigan, of course. Now, HellRaisers realizing exactly what they've walked themselves into. It's going to be insult added to injury. As Kerrigan is not going to let them get through on towards that A side whatsoever. Zero hoping to make something happen here, at least to smoke on towards B. But oh, look at that. Pink comes in here. Zipnik's happy just to back away with some damage done, because Bonding's going to fall to Kirby, and Astralis have HellRaisers' number here. Absolutely.
There it is. This is shocking to watch, if I'm honest. They're not even doing damage. That's the worrying part. They seem like they've literally hit the brick wall of, we don't know what to do.
Look at this money. Look at this money, Lauren.
Oh, money for days. Kirby, Zipnix, just rolling in cash. The other side of things, scraping pennies together. They've got enough for a buy, but yeah, what an absolutely shocking T-side from HellRaisers. Just outdone on all fronts. I feel like they haven't tried that much. You look at it like we do with 2020 vision, X-ray on, maps up, but it feels like they haven't even gone to their depths.
Have we seen a proper set play from HellRaisers yet?
We've seen a few, like the hit through the palace, like the 3 players coming out. Okay. It was kind of unfortunate because that was around where Kirby had actually pushed up into the...
Yeah, that was so advanced onto the side that really the utility they employed didn't matter.
Yeah, and normally if you'd gone out ramp like an old default A hit, right, that position would be 1 and then you'd get naded to Kingdom Come. It would be done, and then Dupree's left on his own, but it's the way it's the way CS goes. You can't expect them to be in positions like that, but that was really unfortunate. But yeah, HellRaisers just aren't making ground. They're not getting those opening picks, apart from Sticko occasionally hitting crazy shots, crazy shots. The deagles coming through, or the jumping shot on Device. But yeah, this is just, I don't know what to say for HellRaisers. This is one of those predicaments they pretty just get stuck in. Like, well, how do we get around this? Because Astralis have decided to actually turn up now.
Well, HellRaisers. Looks like Device's circus training's been going fairly well. And already Bond exploit himself an AK. So
Looks
obviously,
like a guitar when he does that. It looks like a guitar.
They're probably just discussing the same thing, actually.
Yep. That's great.
Like the one from Mad Max.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? The
on
guitar.
the
It's
truck?
just like with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
So sick. Shame he gets wrecked. Well, he gets wrecked in a very satisfying way, but
It's quite funny.
it's kind of like HellRaisers actually. Sticker comes through, he's got a guitar, spouting fire, gets 2 bangarang headshots with the pistol, and then gets torn to shreds.
Yeah, that sounds about right. To be fair, I used to love the Astralis, like, tactical timeouts, or before a game they do, like, their war cry and just, like, crazy stuff. They were one of the teams that had such personality to their play. They've kind of quietened down a little bit now.
Eventually, yeah, the honeymoon period expires. What were they? TSM were champions of DreamHack Bucharest this time last year, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's
One
true.
of sort of the few titles that they've actually had since their time as being... I mean, there's been a few in there, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they had plenty of personality back then, no doubt about it. Now maybe it's just down to business here, especially in the Pro League because, well, they haven't guaranteed themselves a playoff spot yet, Lauren. Still need to win these games. And these are the games you can't afford to lose. Getting off to such an ugly start definitely forces you to wipe the smile off your face and get going. But that's exactly what's happening here now. We're back into this one. Round 26. And Astralis now in the lead for the first time in the game.
Took a while, but they've got there. Now, here we go. HellRaisers doing what looks like just an A hit. Angel through mid, gonna play up connector, keep him busy. Won't expect Kievi here. He waits a little to see if there's another player. Not the case. Kerrigan can rain in a lot of damage there, but they don't expect Dupree. And Dupree does what he does best. Waits ever so patiently, finds the last 2. And they do take that lead in some fashion. The rifling combo now coming out from Kievi and Dupree again there. Just perfect. Just perfect. Completely unraveled them. And look how many players they've had alive. Every single time. So many.
I reckon I can almost hear LMBT cackling from across the Rhine right now. I'm certain of it. HellRaisers, that's going to break you. That really is going to hurt. They can sort of buy into this one still. No AWPs to speak of, though. 2 Galils in stuff all utility, if I'm quite honest with you. And Kievi, look at him. He's just varying up his locations every round. As HellRaisers can't get a read on Astralis, and they're losing so many players to the same things that Astralis did. They make assumptions. They make incorrect guesses or try to read, and it's just not working out now. Dupree going to be set up on this site. Device chimes in. Bonic is going to get 2, but Dupree surely will be there to shut down. It's the spray down. And HellRaisers, my God. 1 round 1 for this half. They were 11-4 up. 11-4. And they've allowed, well, you do the maths, a heck of a lot of rounds to go by, 11, as it were.
See, the problem is that when you look at this scoreline, you'll assume that the game was actually quite competitive. And it was in the first half for me. I felt that HellRaisers were bringing a really nice game. Astralis was struggling a bit, but HellRaisers have just been, lackluster. It's not been like Astralis are playing out of their minds. They have been playing well, but it's not like this next-gen sort of crazy play. But yeah, this has been a bit of an underwhelming performance, especially after that last matchup we saw, the Dust 2 affair between Na'Vi and NIP. But finally, a bit of a chance here.
First time it's happened all half.
Yeah, this is literally the first time we've seen them get maybe an entry kill they can work with, but where they expect Device, no. So instantly it goes back down to this 4v4.
And now Zero is all standing on the flames. He's gone so low to that one. The bullets streaming through the smoke catch him, take him even lower than that. Sticko, though, in towards mid, finds one with a Tech 9. And this might be something in the works here. Bondit gets on towards Dupree. Now they're going to make their way through that spawn. No one's at A right now, but HellRaisers still going to try and take their time. Now, Dead Fox has the utility and the bomb, of course, so that might just be what Bonic was waiting on here, is he would have to enter clean and sort of on his own otherwise. And I know HellRaisers would love to catch Carrigan by surprise here. A flash up, turn his head, and spray him down with those rifles. Device is still up mid here as well, so we're still looking for information where HellRaisers are actually ready to push, but Molotov comes in, buys more time. This gives Device time to check, but Carrigan actually backs out of the A site completely here.
What?
Because, I mean, HellRaisers don't push over that Molotov, but this has actually worked in their favor now. It's going to be full retake mode for Astralis, where previously they had great positions.
Okay, so there's still a smoke and a flash as well with HellRaisers, so if they want to be careful, they can be, but they're so cautious checking the site, and Device is clearing out B. Right about now, here we go, and everything's clear, move. Carrigan now makes a run for it. That's his job, to get towards CT and hope it's safe still, so they have some room to play from. Now, Device is going to try and pinch around as well, so this isn't a bad retake position. It's okay. There's still a flash and a smoke on Device as well. It's silver linings here, picking it thin, sort of strings of possibility, but there it is. Dead Fox finding Carrigan means this one's all but done here. Device have to go 1v3 in this sort of situation. No step towards the site. It's almost zero information at this point. Very unlikely.
Yeah, and that's being diplomatic, really. Fortunately for Astralis, they have quite a large amount of money to fall back on here. They can buy until overtime comes around. So that for HellRaisers still needs to be stuck in the back of their mind. Device flings himself in the air, or at least attempts to, but is grounded very briefly by Dead Fox. And HellRaisers, well, you know, you could talk about luck, you could talk about the way the game works, but Astralis, again, a bit of a mistake to back away from that one here. And it's no-nonsense mode. They're on match point again. Carrigan's going to pick himself up to Scar 20. And actually no other AWP here for Astralis, so they're going to work with rifles around it. And that may mean that we do see, yeah, Cowby just be standing up in mid there with the rifle. Won't commit heavily to it. As you can imagine, as Deadfox will be looking to get early picks off with the AWP to make it a bit of a smoother transition for HellRaisers here on towards the site.
Statistically, this should be over, but doesn't connect as well as one that Deadfox can't quite pull off the full bang through the wall. He said it does enough damage towards Kiebi though, so a little bit of a step towards the right direction here, but Device places himself perfectly towards ladder room, catching Angel trying to step towards connector. That's going to be an approach now denied. He can hop back towards us now and see if anyone's daring to push him, because the rest of HellRaisers were kind of looking towards B. You had Bondic and Zero over by B apartments. You had Deadfox and Sticko looking towards short. So comes down to Zipnix and Device to greet them if they actually commit to this. Deadfox, your barrel's going to show, buddy. Back away from that. And now Device knows what was coming.
I mean, pretty cheeky peek there to go into his ladder room on that one, but he was the only one on short at the time. Now maybe Sticker comes and joins. And Device not even going to challenge this one here. He actually backs away out of ladder room entirely, looking for a bit of a different... And this is a bit interesting. Oh, it's going to work out for him as well. Deadfox absolutely hammered there by Device coming around the corner. Yes, has traded out, but that little bit of flair might be enough for Astralis. Zipnix, so Zero was in that spot for the entire last half, and it works out. Now Carrigan gets to the sky with a Scar 20, and Zero, the last chance. It is last chance saloon here for HellRaisers, but Kirby cuts it to the quick. And Astralis bring it back from behind. It was 11-4 at the half. But they, in turn, put 11 rounds together in a row to challenge and then finally defeat HellRaisers. Day turns to night, and that's exactly what HellRaisers' performance looks like there, Lauren. Honestly, completely dropping the ball in the second half.
That's a nice way to put it, to be fair. That was absolutely atrocious on that T side. I don't know what happened to them. They showed so much flair, so much potential, and then it just went... And it just left them completely. I don't know what the hell happened, but it just wasn't working. They were never getting entry kills. Then you saw a really good performance from the likes of, you know, pretty much everyone on Astralis just kicked it up a notch. But still, HellRaisers, you've got to feel they had so many more opportunities to bring something through them.
I don't even that they like just fragged super well in the first half. We saw some tactical finesse from HellRaisers in the way that they navigated that CT side.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a completely different approach there on the T, so they will be mad about that. They'll be kicking themselves. Astralis are playing a lot of games tonight. That was their third at least, I think. But now let's pass it over to the analyst desk and see if they can piece this mess together for us.
It is a little bit of a mess, and I've got myself, Chad and Henry to talk it through. Thanks very much, Lauren and Mitch. I had to think about that for a second.
I'm surprised that they were saying it was a mess, because that CT half was relatively clean from Astralis.
That's the headline.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're going to start by talking about how clean it was. You're not going to focus on the fact that HellRaisers went 11-4 up first half?
Well, that was pretty good.
Pretty rough.
They didn't win the game.
Pretty good, all right.
No, I think, like, what happened? HellRaisers won both pistols?
They did win the...
And then they got Force Sport / Eco
both times as well. And after having that 11-4 lead as well, going into the second half, you think, okay, they've tied up the game now, that's it. Yeah. And then somehow Astralis come back. What the hell's going on there? That's insane.
What was a 9 or whatever it was in a row? Every round was clean. You know, they maybe got 2 kills, HellRaisers, but otherwise they're just getting mopped up. Really good crossfires. They didn't even have to defuse the bomb.
Right.
You know, they're just getting slammed.
But like, can you just highlight for us, Chad, how rare it is to see both teams finding so much success on T-side Mirage? Like that's a rarity, right?
CT-side Mirage?
CT side.
Also little success on T-side.
I did.
Which one do you want to do both of those?
Well, I mean, defending Mirage has never always been seen as an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I think like when you were watching HellRaisers' side, when they were pushing into sides, it was almost like all ins. They weren't getting picks and then playing the rotations, and they were going all in and just getting traded out, and they weren't making many frags themselves. So they may have got 1 or 2 kills, and then the rest of the Astralis guys were just there and fragging them all. Maybe it was a lack of firepower. That could be questioned. Now the Oscar's gone. Nobody really to entry the bomb sites for them, because Angel being the in-game leader, he's one of those in-game leaders that likes to be an entry fragger. And he had a lot of success on his CT half. But on the T half, he was really struggling and not finding any openings for his team.
But to see a team go 11-4 up, right? And we can't, we can't get crazy and start saying HellRaisers are a free win by any stretch of the imagination, even though they have lost their star player. And we used to say Oscar.
No, definitely not. Like, this is the first showing, our first showing we've seen at least in Pro League of Deadfox. He seemed to be stepping up on the CT half. The thing is as well, their CT setups were very good. They were actually being quite dynamic. And for a team that's only brought this guy in like for a couple of days, I can't really speculate how long that actually is. But they were looking like they were shutting down across the board. You have to remember, in terms of gun rounds as well, Astralis only really got one because they forced ball in the second. They managed to break them down on that second round, get 3 in a row there. They picked up 1 gun round after that. So for the CT to actually hold them off at that sort of level and to actually get that kind of scoreline against a team like Astralis with a new player, that's actually very impressive. The CT sides are good. It was actually quite dynamic. They were actually getting the AWP picks at the start and actually pushing up towards middle, finding kills across the board. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And I think that's kind of testament to that new player coming in. The T sides always be very difficult. People kind of think when you, it's just one player, right? But I'm sure Chad can kind of agree with this, that bringing one guy into an array of strategies you have on the T side, just bringing one guy in to replace a complete role might not necessarily be as easy as this sounds. There's going to be, like, let's say 10 basic strategies and a default, and there's going to be thousands of different variations of that. You can drive on them as much as you want, but actually when they come into practice and things start going wrong, when you lose the first pick or something like that, it's very difficult to actually coordinate everyone and make sure you've got everything shut down and they're kind of locked in for those kind of sequence of events. So kind of shows on the T side for those guys.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Okay, so we do see Astralis somehow manage to come back from that one and go ahead and show us how it is done with a spectacular second half on Mirage. We're going to be ending our night on Dust 2. That's where we're going to be venturing to next. Before we do so, we're going to catch our breath and take a quick break. And before we do that, there's an application called the Score Esports, and it's a fantastic way to go ahead and stay up to date on all of your CSGO gossip, news, stats, articles, and all of that good stuff. So you go grab that, and when we do return, Dust 2, we'll see if HellRaisers can go ahead and do something, or if Astralis will actually have a little bit more to say on the first half of play. See you in a sec.